Hi Aquarius, here's a general look at your solar chart for the whole of 2011. This is an outline of the movements of the positions, really, of the outer planets, which provide the stage for the faster moving inner planets, which are the subject of the monthly forecasts throughout the coming year. First of all, Mercury retrograde periods, March 30th to April the 23rd. August the 2nd to August the 26th, and November the 23rd to December the 13th. As for the Jupiter cycle, from January the 23rd to June the 5th, that's going to be in a very sociable area for you. You could be feeling more light-hearted and positive in your approach. You're sort of, you're mentally, it could give you quite a lift actually. That Jupiterian well-being will influence the communication sector, but it's also the way your mind is working. So you're going to be feeling more outgoing, more positive, in a more positive frame of mind, I would say. Home, or not very far away from home, could be an interesting, busy sort of hub of activity going on there. More comings and goings, likely more short trips, likely actually. Also, educational activities are being are highlighted. Information exchange, creative self-expression, media, maybe through connected to the arts. Could be public relations for some of you, promotions, buying, selling, all of that, connecting, socializing with people for business, professional or personal reasons. That's all going to be magnified and amplified during that period there. And your growth and expansion will come through that area, but also through, as I say, educational areas as well. That could be informal types of education or formal ones too. But you definitely keep pricking up your ears and being more aware of, the bigger picture, the trends and so on. Best place maybe to source information from, which is going to be the most reliable. Also, you could be writing, some of you, or speaking more, or, as I say, working through the arts, channeling your thoughts and feelings through those mediums of expression. Yes, and your awareness and knowledge base will certainly be growing through those first 6 months there. And you could become, some of you could become involved with another language or culture. Interesting sort of daily, social, moving, sort of more fluid situation than there has been previously. From June the 5th, then Jupiter moves into the adjoining area, going to be in there until the end of the year. That's relating to the home base, property matters, also your emotional sense of inner belonging and well-being and security. So improvements in the pipeline there related to those sorts of things. You should gradually get this sense of security, but also improvements in your space, maybe a bigger space, expansion there, maybe more people coming into your space, maybe you getting more access to a space you prefer, which is at a distance somewhere, or, as I say, you could be traveling, having more connections with a foreign culture, that comes more into your daily life. Or through the wires, right from where you're sitting in your chair, right there. But it tends to be it tends to allow you to learn and grow this Jupiter energy. So some of you, you could be relocating, some of you, but whatever's going on, you'll be feeling happier about putting down roots and finding that security. Maybe expanding outside of where you live as well, in the backyard or in the front yard, actually utilizing that so that your world expands, overflows, spills out. Your world of awareness, your world of activity spills out into those outside areas. Liaising with those at a distance, that's going to be very likely be part of the picture. Now, there's 4 solar and 2 lunar eclipses in 2011. The first solar eclipse is on January the 4th in Capricorn, and if the eclipse degree makes a connection with one of the important points in your natal chart, then that's going to open the way for new beginnings with your inner private life, some project you're working at behind the scenes maybe, or getting healing, having more time for self-nurturing activities, more inner contemplation, meditative activities, but also using your imagination, using your subconscious, your dream world in a creative kind of a way. Also, you being there as a support for somebody else, new beginnings with that. And also maybe reviewing and reflecting upon the past and tying up loose ends for the past. But it's a great opportunity for the healing process and for healing practices, both for yourself or for somebody else. Saturn continues its transit of Libra until autumn 2012. That means you taking communications through the written and spoken word more seriously. Also travel, having to travel for maybe more routinely or for more serious type reasons, or taking it more seriously anyway when you have to do so. You'll be integrating maybe a new understanding of a strange culture, a body of knowledge, area of academia, system of thought, cultural, different cultural habits and so on. Developing all of that there, that should be expanding your understanding, but it's gradual, it's incremental, it's chipping away, like as if through a wall, so be consistent, be patient, be persevering, because what you achieve in these areas now will stand you in good stead way on into the future. One way or another, a different dimension is opening up to you through unfamiliar places, people, body of knowledge, travel, those with a very different mindset, a very different background to your own. And some of those ideals of yours, from the past, some of those pet theories, some of those belief systems or a belief system, this is going to be a time when they get cut down to size, and you will feel tested at times as you sample the sort of reality of that. Some things will be an absolute delight that you're glad that they don't stand up to the test. Because you kind of had a gut feeling they weren't going to anyway. But then other aspects are going to be a huge reality check for you, and either way your eyes are going to be opened. Uranus, your ruling planet, will be moving from Pisces in March, where it's been bringing uncertainty and sometimes destabilization in the area of finances and basic material security. Uranus is going to be working through Aries for about 7 years, starting from March the 12th. That's going to bestow wonderful opportunities to open your mind to new concepts, through comings and goings, through new social contacts, expanding your thinking and you learning a great deal that you really didn't know before. So, I mean, some really quite amazing material could come to light for you, Aquarius, and certain knowledge will feel like quite a revelation at times. And also, your everyday life, that's going to give that an edge to it as well. There will be things that you've never seen before or experienced before. So it could be related to a foreign culture, I suppose, or a new study of some kind. And it could be something even really weird, like astrology, something groundbreaking, or in the sciences. And this is really going to give you the wow factor. And plunge you maybe into a world which is very foreign, could be to do with IT, sustainable energy, but also could be to do with something which is alien and definitely which puts you ahead of the rest. Now, over January and February, Jupiter, Uranus, they could trigger sudden change in conditions which opens new doors related to these areas I have just mentioned. The life-changing force of Pluto is now in Capricorn, meaning that it's regenerating you, from deep levels, you are letting go of ingrained habits and patterns and scenarios from the past, dying to an old way of being and a gradual rebirthing into a new way. So there's like this deep gear shift within you, and old order is crumbling. Jupiter is squaring Pluto from February the 17th to March the 3rd. This is a time you could become super enthusiastic about getting going with something, starting afresh, renewing something, rehabilitating something. But you can run up against a few snags with the powers that be there. Maybe if you let go of an entrenched position and you're flexible there in favor of another position, then that's going to, you know, jump the lights into green and you'll be able to go forwards. Maybe not quite in the way you'd expected, but at least you will be making progress. Jupiter opposes Saturn March 25th to April the 2nd, a time of conflicting energies when you can be successful, but you should be cautious when expanding into new areas. Jupiter trines Pluto from July the 1st to the 14th and October the 16th to November the 3rd. This is a good influence. It's a positive aspect which can help you make wise use of your knowledge or somebody else's knowledge or expertise. And you could learn a great deal at that time, but also others could learn a great deal from you at that time, which is enlightening, could expand your life into new areas as long as you are willing to open your mind. And it's also not just about yourself, this one here. Pluto's a transpersonal planet, so it's about things that are going on globally, your little wheel in the bigger wheel, and taking that more philosophical view would be advisable. This is also a time when you might be able to untangle a problem, get something straightened out with some situation or some person which has been causing you grief. Could be around the job, the work methods or setup, or health matters actually. Now Uranus is going to be in challenging aspect to Pluto from July the 8th to August the 16th. This is going to be a recurring aspect in our skies until well on into 2015, really getting into gear from June 2012. This aspect is sudden event territory and can mean unexpected, life-changing conditions which change things ultimately for the better. And this is going to affect us all. This isn't just about you and your year next year. This is like, you know, force majeure energy. This is about the bigger wheel. More likely you are successful if you keep your options open, but go with the flow of bigger events that are outside of your control. Can manifest in ways which nobody expected, or a lot of people didn't expect. Maybe quite a reversal on what, you know, was being forecast. But serves to radically clear the decks. This is a significant time in history, as a matter of fact, much of which what has traditionally been relied upon economically, culturally, socially, with markets and corporations are subject to deep and transformative change just now. The status quo aspects of it will be crumbling and renewing, of course. At times, even though things may be happening fast and a lot may be happening, and it's difficult to reorientate because there's quite a few people scrabbling around trying to sort of get their balance as well. If you are centered when making decisions, then you'll be able to seize opportunities for positive change and get ahead of the game. If you find yourself already involved in something which is very unconventional or leading edge or cutting edge, then maybe that's going to turn out to be, you know, a place where you can expand upon that, hook up with others who have also got similar interests in common. And with the energy changing this radically, you know, we're going to have to learn how to look after each other, because we are all connected and we're all in this boat together. So the second solar eclipse on June 1st in Gemini means, if there's aspects from the eclipse degree to your natal chart, that you could make new beginnings with getting on with pursuits that you really enjoy, which are inventive, innovative, fun, that you can play with a little bit, like hobbies or leisure pursuits or something in the entertainments area. Somewhere where you get the chance to express yourself freely and spontaneously, doing the kinds of activities which allow you to shine in your own very special way, Aquarius. The third solar eclipse is in Cancer on July the 1st. Again, if it makes these connections with your natal chart, this is going to open the way for you to make new beginnings with the sector of your chart to do with study, training for skills, use of skills, practical everyday tasks. These may be job-related or could underpin health and well-being, yours or another's. Also more awareness about your diet, exercise, other healing activities. Some of you may mix more with people providing a service for you, or you may be providing more of a service, more services for them. The fourth solar eclipse in Sagittarius on November the 25th. That's in your sector of friendship, social circle, networking. If it makes connections with your natal charts, new beginnings here related to friends, hanging out with a different set of people, or making new starts there, related to collaborating with others with shared interests in common, whether that's for work reasons, study reasons, or fun reasons. And also the two lunar eclipses, the one on June the 15th in Sagittarius and the other on December the 10th in Gemini, also there, that shifts the gear into a head, if it makes connections with your natal chart, with those two areas that I have just mentioned, to do with your social circle, interests in common, but also learning or combining your efforts in common in creative, innovative ways, or related to the unconventional, alternative sort of areas, or to do with sustainable energy, that kind of thing. Now, for many years, Neptune has been in your sign, at times bringing a certain amount of confusion in, or, you know, you haven't been thinking realistically, maybe. It's been there for many years. Perhaps you put somebody or some place or some idea up there on a pedestal, and or somebody has done that to you, and you haven't been appreciated for who you really are, or you didn't appreciate somebody for who they really are, and it just kind of tends to skew the vision at times, Neptune there. But anyway, Neptune is slowly coming out of there and actually will leave that area between April the 5th and August the 5th. And that means that it will be in an area to do with your finances, your material security, and your value system, and making decisions from a more intuitive, deeper place related to those areas there. And it will finally get into that area full-time from February 2012. And just a mention of Mars being in your area, being in an area to do with joint resources, pooling your resources with somebody else. Mars is going to be in Virgo from November the 11th to July the 12th. And that means that you can pool your energies there. You can be a support to somebody, or somebody can be a support to you. They provide a space or some kind of other kind of resource, or you're doing it for them. And also you are getting more interested maybe in the other side of life, spirituality, the occult, that kind of thing. And maybe researching something, maybe getting very interested in uncovering the truth, because you feel like there's been things kept back, or maybe the sense that the bottom line, the key insight, hasn't yet been discovered on something. Well, that's it. That's the overview for 2011. If you know your rising sign, listen to that one too. May I wish you a very happy new year, and I will see you the next time.